Hi ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders, welcome to another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook with Chart Engineering Pro. We really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video, and we do not take it for granted at all. If you haven't yet subscribed or you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content we post here. And if you also find value with what we share here, be sure to like, drop your comments, share your views, and drop your comments as well. And share this video to your fellow traders or anyone who would find this information useful. We'd also drop a link to the free Telegram group where we share updates of these setups as the week unfolds, and we'll take care of the recap of the previous week at the end of this video, so stay tuned. So before that, let's see what we have for the economic calendar for the coming week before we jump into the charts. So for the coming week, on Monday we have a bank holiday for JPY, the Japanese yen. On Tuesday we have the AED cash rate, which is a very high impact news. So if you're holding any AUD pair, you should be cautious of that on Tuesday. And on Wednesday we're going to have the CPI for USD, and also we're going to have GBPs and GDP on Thursday, and also the core PPI for USD on Thursday as well. On Friday there's no high impact news. So let's see what we have for the coming week. This is DXY, and for DXY, last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back into this area of interest to give us selling opportunities to the downside. Price never made its way there, but it gave us a reaction somewhere close to it, to the downside. But going into next week, all we're waiting for is to see price retest this daily structure or this weekly structure point here. You see, we are expecting price to retest this weekly structure point here and look for selling opportunities to the downside. If price is able to find its way all the way back into the area of interest we expected it to hit before seeing the selling opportunities, we will still be interested in taking ourselves from here or the second zone or third zone we have here as well. So we are very bearish on DXY, and these are the various targets we have for DXY to the downside. This is the Japanese yen index, and for the Japanese yen index, it has shifted bullish on a weekly and a daily perspective. Last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back into this area of interest to give us some buying opportunities to the upside, and for this week, price can also retest this daily structure and then just take off without reaching the weekly area of interest. So we're going to look out for this particular structure point we have here, and then we'll look for buying opportunities from here. If it doesn't work or if we don't get any confirmation, we'll wait for price to hit this area of interest we have here before we look for buying opportunities to the upside for the Japanese yen index for the coming week. This is Euro USD. So for Euro USD, we managed to catch a position before CPI, before NFP. So last week we were anticipating that price was going to retest this area of interest properly. We retested, but it wasn't that deep, and then we got some entries before NFP. So we are currently in this position right here. So we are currently in this position, which we'll be holding on to the TP we have above. Going into next week, we'll just be looking forward to a possible higher low formation, and then look for more buying opportunities to the upside. Should price still find its way back into the area of interest we expected it to hit and give us buying opportunities and give us buying confirmations from here, we'll still take our buys, or we'll still look for the buying opportunities from here to the upside to the various targets we have above. So we are still very bullish on Euro USD for the coming week. This is GBP USD. So GBP USD, we also anticipated that price was going to pull back. Price pulled back, and it gave us a reaction to the upside. So going into next week, all we'll be looking forward to is a possible higher low formation, and we look for a buy continuation. So we look for a possible higher low formation, and we look for a buying continuation to the upside. So we are very bullish for GBP USD, and these are the various targets we have for GBP USD. This is a USD card, and so for USD card, we had an area of interest here which didn't hold. So going into next week or the weeks ahead of us, we'll be looking forward to see price give us a possible reaction from here to complete the harmonic pattern, or should price pull back a bit deeper to the second zone we have below, we'll still be interested in looking for buying opportunities from here. And this is the overall picture of the harmonic pattern that is developing. This is a possible cipher or shark pattern that we have developing. So this is the X, this is the A, this is the B leg, this is the C leg, and we are looking forward to the C to D leg formation. So we are just going to be patient to see how price plays out either in this very zone we have here or the second zone we have below. Then we can take our buys from there to the upside to complete this potential harmonic pattern for USD CAD. And this is AUD USD. So for AUD USD last week, we anticipated that price was going to retest this area of interest to give us a buying opportunity. Price retested nicely, but we didn't get a we didn't get an entry confirmation to enter this trade. So we missed out on all this move to the upside. We didn't get an entry confirmation here, and we missed out on all these moves to the upside. But going into next week, if we get a higher low formation, we get any higher low formation, we get any buy confirmation, we look for a continuation to the upside to the various TPs we have above here. So we are very bullish on AUD USD for the coming week. But if price also manages to find its way back into the area of interest and give us some confirmations here or here, we'll still take our buys from here to the upside. This is NZUSD. NZUSD is also forming a potential harmonic pattern, which is either a cipher or shark pattern. And last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back into this area of interest to give us buying opportunities. Price never pulled back into the area of interest. So going into next week, we're going to look out for a possible daily structure shift. If we get a daily candle close above this daily structure we have here and count for a retest, we can look for buying opportunities from here to the upside. Should price still find its way into the area of interest we expected it to come to and give us buying opportunities here, we'll still take our buys to the upside to the various targets we have above for NZUSD. This is EURJPY. So EURJPY, we're looking out for a possible retest of any of these two areas of interest, and price has made its way to the very first area of interest. So we're going to give it some time and wait for it to develop some more around these areas, and we look for selling opportunities from here to the downside. So we are very bearish on EURJPY for the coming week. This is CAD JPY, and we have been anticipating this possible retest of this neckline of this head and shoulder formation, and price is almost there. So we're very patient to see how price reacts when it gets to this area of interest or this second area of interest. Then we look for selling opportunities to the downside. So these are the various TVs we have for CAD JPY. This is CHF JPY, and it's a similar scenario as we have on the other JPYs. We are looking forward to see a possible pullback into this area of interest and look for selling opportunities to the downside. Should price pull back to this second area of interest and give us selling opportunities, we'll still be glad to take ourselves from there to the downside. So these are the various targets we have for the coming week. This is AUD-JPY. For AUD-JPY, we are also looking forward to this possible retest, and price has hit it slightly, but we'll be patient to see how it reacts properly when it hits this zone, and then look for selling opportunities from here to the downside to these various TPs we have for AUD-JPY. This is Euro-GBP, and for Euro-GBP, we're also waiting to see the reactions we're going to see around this area of interest, and look for selling opportunities to the downside. So we're patient to see how price develops. If we get any reversal pattern, any head and shoulder, any double top, or any clean move that indicates that price wants to go to the downside, then we'll take ourselves from there and still target these targets we have, the previous targets we have from the previous weeks or previous months. This is GBP CAD, and for GBP CAD, we were looking forward to a possible pullback into this area of interest last week, and then price has found its way there. So we'll just be patient to see how price develops here during the week, and we'll look for buying opportunities to the upside. If price also finds its way all the way to this area of interest below and gives us any bullish reactions, we'll still be glad to take our buys from here to the upside to these TPs we have above for GBP CAD. This is Euro CAD. For Euro CAD, we were looking out for a possible higher low formation, and price is currently selling. So we'll be glad if price is able to hit this area of interest or retest this daily structure point we have here and give us some buying opportunities from here. Then we target these targets we have above for Euro CAD. So we are very bullish on Euro CAD as well. This is NZD CAD, and so for NZD CAD, we are going to look forward to see price retest this weekly structure point. So if we'll be patient to see price retest this weekly structure point we have here. It's a weekly structure point. We'll look for buying opportunities from here to take our buys to the upside. If price finds its way to this second zone below and gives us buying opportunities from here, we'll still take our buys from here to the upside. So we are very bullish on NZD CAD for the coming week. This is GBP CHF. For GBP CHF, it's extremely bullish, and so going into next week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback. That if we're able to get it this week, we might likely see this move play out next week instead. But then if we're able to get this retest properly, we get a reversal here and clean reversal here, we can look for buying opportunities from here to the upside. So these are the various TPs we have for GBP for the coming week. This is CAD CHF, and for CAD CHF, last week we anticipated a reaction from this area of interest. We got that nice reaction from there. We got a very clean double bottom formation, and we missed out on this retest. So we could have gotten an entry on this neckline retest right here. So this is the double bottom, and we were looking, if we had seen this move, we would have caught this move if we, as price retested the neckline of the double bottom from the area of interest we anticipated it to react from. So price gave us a very swift retest and then it took off. But then if we are fortunate to see price retest the neckline again or come to retest the area of interest once again, we'll look for a cleaner buying opportunity from here to the upside. So until price gets to the various TPs above, we'll continue to look for buying opportunities to the upside. And these are the various targets we have for CAD CHF for the coming weeks. This is GBPAUD. For GBPAUD is developing a potential head and inverse head and shoulder. So this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder, left shoulder, the head, and we are looking for it to see the possible right shoulder form properly. Then we look for our buying opportunities to the upside. So currently this is the right shoulder that is developing, and we anticipated that this might form a potential harmonic pattern on the lower time frame. So we'll be patient to see how the C leg, the B to C leg develops, and we look for buying opportunities to the upside. Should price retest this area of interest again and give us buying opportunities, we'll take our buys from here to the upside. If we're able to get any reversal pattern here or any bullish confirmations before price even hits this area of interest, we'll still look for buying opportunities and take our buys to the upside. For GBPAUD. So this is EURNZD. So for EURNZD, last week we anticipated that price was going to retest this daily structure point and give us selling opportunities. So it retested and we didn't get any clean reversal or confirmation to sell. So going into next week, if we're able to get a possible lower high formation, we get a clean reversal or a clean selling opportunity, we'll take our sales to the downside for EURNZD. The second scenario we have is we're going to wait for a daily candle break or a daily structural shift. So if we're able to get a daily candle shift this daily structure point here and come for a possible lower high formation or a possible retest of the structure point, we'll look for selling opportunities to the downside to the various TPs we have down there for EURNZD. This is AUDNZD. For AUDNZD, we have been waiting for this pullback or this retest of this neckline of this double top formation, this huge double top formation, or maybe head and shoulder formation, whichever way we are going to consider it. If we consider it as a head and shoulder, this would be our left shoulder, this would be our head, this would be our right shoulder, and now you're looking for it to see a retest of the neckline, and we take ourselves to the downside. So we'll be patient to see how price develops around this area of interest, then we take ourselves to the downside. This is one of the most the cleanest moves we have on the pairs that we have lined up for the week. So we just have to be patient to see how price develops here, and then we take ourselves to the downside. This is gold. For gold, gold has currently shifted bullish on a daily perspective, and then I think the weekly perspective as well. So going into next week, we'll be looking for it to see a possible pullback into this area of interest. Look for buying opportunities to the upside. Should price pull back all the way down to the second zone below, we'll still be interested in taking our buys from there to the downside, to the upside, sorry. And so these are the various targets we have for gold for the coming week. So we are very bullish now. That's shifted bullish. So we are bullish now. This is silver. For silver is also giving us something like an inverse head and shoulder formation. It's not that clean, but it looks like it. So going into next week, all we're looking out for is a possible pullback, a possible retest of this area of interest. We look for buying opportunities from here to the upside. Should price pull back deeper into the second zone below, we'll still be interested in taking our buys from there to the upside for silver. This is Brent crude oil, and for Brent crude oil, we're talking about this for quite some time, and then we are looking out for a possible harmonic pattern formation where we saw a very swift move here, thinking that was going to be the beginning of the C to D leg, and it seemed that we missed out on this whole move here. But looking at how price action and the price is developing, we are most likely going to retest this area of interest once again. Price might likely come back into this area of interest once again, and will now consolidate a bit, gather some momentum, build up some more, and then we'll get a takeoff from there to the upside to complete the harmonic pattern we are looking out for. So we are going to be patient to see how price plays out and finds its way back into the area of interest. We have between $75 per barrel to $66 per barrel. Then we can take our buys from here properly to the upside. So we are still very bullish on Brent crude oil, but we'll be patient to allow price to come to us before we take our decision. This is natural gas, and so for natural gas is extremely bearish now. Going into next week, what we'll be looking out for is a possible pullback into this area of interest, and we look for selling opportunities from here to the downside. So these are the various targets we have for natural gas for the coming week. This is S&P 500. So for S&P 500, we're looking out for a structural shift here last week, and expected that we're going to get a structural shift, get a pullback or a retest, and we can take our buys from there. But the pullback never came. Price just took off without giving us any pullback for us to enter. So going into next week, if we are fortunate to see price retest this area of interest, we'll look for our buying opportunities from here to the upside for S&P 500. This is Nasdaq, and Nasdaq has also shifted bullish on a daily perspective. So going into next week, what we'll be looking out for is a possible retest of this area of interest and look for our buying opportunities to the upside. Should price pull back a bit lower to the second zone below, we'll still be interested in taking some buys from there to the upside. So we are also very bullish on Nasdaq for the coming week. Sorry, I didn't write down the price points, but I think you can see them at the meter we have here, or the ruler we have here. This is US 30. For US 30, it's extremely bullish, so we'll be anticipating a possible pullback into this area of interest before buying opportunities to the upside for US 30. This is US 2000. So for US 2000, last week we were anticipating a possible breakout of this channel of bullish flag, and we're expecting to see price give us a daily structural shift at this daily structure point here. We got the daily structural shift, anticipated a possible retest of the daily structure point, and then we can see price take off. Price price broke through and never came back to retest, and then it kept going. So going into next week, we just be looking forward to see some higher low formations that will give us cleaner opportunities to participate in this position as well on US 2000. But then if price is able to find its way to retest this daily structural point as well, we'll still be glad to take our buys from here to the upside. This is BTC. So for BTC, we are very bearish on the monthly and I think in a weekly perspective. So price was trying to reverse, was trying to give us some head and shoulder formation here, but it's not clean. Going into next week, I'm anticipating that price should retest this area of interest properly and give us some reversal patterns here before we can get some clean sells to the downside between 58k to 46k, and the worst case scenario for BTC should be around 35k on the bearish side. So going into next week, we are most likely to see price buy on BTC. So we'll be looking forward to this possible retest of this daily structural points and look for buying opportunities from here to the upside, properly into the zone we are anticipating price to reverse from. So we are most likely going to see some bullishness this week than bearishness from BTC. This is Ethereum, and so Ethereum also has a similar setup, and price is currently in the area of interest. Last week we were anticipating to see price break below the structural point so we can take some selling opportunities from here, but price never broke below it and kept going up. Going into next week, price may most likely continue buying properly into the area of interest it finds itself in at the moment. So Let's look at the recap. So for the recap, we got this nice move here, but we were unable to get an entry for it on AUD We missed out on this whole move after price gave us a nice retest of the area of interest we had anticipated it to react from. So going into next week, we just be looking forward to see higher low formations or more buying opportunities that we can take our buys to the upside on AUD CHF. Thank you so much for sticking through to the end of the video. Really appreciate it for your time. Thank you so much for coming through. And we would like to encourage all of us to apply proper risk management to our trades. Let's all trade safe and sound. And I wish all of us a profitable and a fruitful week ahead of us. God richly bless you and take good care of yourself. We'll catch each other on another episode. So take care and bye bye.